I'm Ryan and I'm back again, you know already, with another Ryan Sports Reviews. This time, Toronto FC versus New England Revolution, Toronto FC's home opener. First off, what a great match. What a great match. TFC shows resolve. Last year, when after giving up the first goal, they only won one match, lost 14 and drew 1. No, wait. Out of 14. Point being is, I just saw that stat on Twitter. Point being is TFC last year, every time they conceded the first goal, they normally lost. They only won once and drew once after conceding the first goal. So with Toronto FC tonight, they conceded the first goal. In the 6th minute, Mavinga gives up a penalty, fouls Bunbury, and it was just it was kind of like early Mavinga, like early 2017 Mavinga. He just steps out, boom, cuts him out. Like, Mavinga, we know you're grease lightning, but don't do that. I thought we were done with that, but Mavinga gives up the penalty. Gill steps up and takes it, and you know what happens with Toronto FC penalties. They can't score them, and they get scored on because Bono can't save them. And Gill slots it home, cool as you like. I think he may have Panenka'd him, but it was not saved, or it wasn't even a rebound. It was just a cool as you like penalty from Gill. Really easy from him. Good job to him. Fair play. And then TFC starts throwing more pressure on, bringing more attacks down the wing with De Leon, Moro, and Aurel, which is a really good strategy. It's just a really good situation. I like how they're attacking from the wings more this year. It brings more variance to their attack because it's not just like two guys in the midfield, one guy up. It's not like Javinko and Vasquez trying to put things together for Josie. Now, that's not the problem last year. It was more like the injuries because it worked in CONCACAF. But it's like, when you know where it's coming from, you could lock down on that. Now they realize you could spread out the defense, spread out the defensive block, and that's how you can beat the park the bus. You spread out the defensive block, you attack from all ends, you attack from the wings, you attack from the center, and that's just the way it works. You split up the defensive block, it makes it easier for you to score. Now, considering that, 20th minute, Justin Moro has a good play, and then Akinola gets a cross, and Akinola scores a good one. Hometown boy, Io Akinola, 20th minute, scores a goal, and Toronto FC drawing 1-1. They're right back in it, and then Toronto FC just keeps keeping the pressure on New England. The ball comes back their way, but they just keep playing some good defense. Playing well, probably because Drew Moore was in instead of Laurent Saman, but the defense was good. Aurel, Moro, all the back four for Toronto FC, even with Bradley dropping down, and even sometimes Osorio would drop down into the defense, and even Chapman at some points, when Chapman was in. Now, I do like thinking of Chapman as a defensive midfielder, because Chapman looks like he has that talent. The way he played today showed me that they should consider making Chapman a defensive midfielder. And if they do, I think he's better than Liam Fraser. I really do. Because if you think about that, it was like Chapman just played very well in the spot he was put in. Like, Vanny, his past 2 11s, and I'd say even the one with the draw against Independiente, I'd say that those 11s are very good 11s. Like, they're good 11s, but they're also very experimental because they don't have Pozzuelo yet. They don't have the TAM players yet, so they have to experiment, and I like it. I like it because these experiments have worked. They've scraped the results that they needed to. Not just scraped results, they've scraped wins. 6 points out of their first 2 before Pozzuelo gets here in MLS. That's what they needed. That's what we need. We're doing what we have to do. These are 2 wins that we don't have to get later on if we are in the place that the analysts think we will be. But honestly, I still think we're going to finish high up in the conference, probably first to third. I really do. This team is way better than the analysts thought. This team is way better than even the fans thought. And I'm not trying to come after you. I'm just trying to say, every MLS fan was like, I'm going to sleep on Toronto because Independiente. But look at what they've done. They're playing really well. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. Now, 45th minute, Jay Chapman with a little bit of an offside run, but it bounces off a New England player, so it was played off a New England player, so it wasn't offside. Jay Chapman with a run, passes in, gets it past the New England defender. Jordan Hamilton slots it home, cool as you like. 2-1 TFC going into the break, and that's exactly what we needed. Now, I have to say, Chapman was offside. He was on an offside position. Now, the question is, did the ball bounce off a New England player to make it not offside? And that's what the VAR referee said. And Friedel was just off it. He was off it. And here's the despicable part. He was talking to Bradley and Hamilton. Like, here's what really happened. You shouldn't be... Like, he was lambasting them because why not? That's like the dirtiest thing a coach could do. I wanted Greg Vanney to walk over and punch him like he was Miguel Herrera. Or maybe put some fingers in his eyes like he was Jose Mourinho. I don't know. Do something. Because Friedel's being a total D-nozzle. Think of... I said it in the live stream, but I ain't going to say it fully here. A sanitary device nozzle. Something like that. Yeah. You can figure that one out pretty easily, I think. Then around the 50th minute, Toronto FC just break down on defense. Go yakety sacks. And they let Carles Gill nutmeg a defender and Alex Bono. 2-2. But honestly, I think everybody knew exactly what was going to happen from that point. Josie Altidore would come on, score a goal, and we would win because Josie Altidore's clutch. Oh, wait, that's exactly what happened. And by the way, I did call that. By the way, I called that because, I called that. I said that in the live stream. I said it the night before. What I said was, Josie Altidore will be on around the 70th minute. He's going to score the goal to win the game because Josie's clutch. I called it. And remember, more times I am right than I am wrong. I am wrong about some things, Independiente. But I am right most of the time. So, how did it happen? Down the wing, Justin Morrow goes, crosses it in. New England defenders couldn't do a thing about it. Josie Altidore gets his foot on it, slots it home like the clutch Josie he is. Barrels in there and just slots it. Just like Josie Altidore should. And by the way, he did the same exact celebration he did during MLS Cup 2017. After that goal. Which is kind of poetic and I kind of love that. So yeah, 3-2 TFC. It would stand that way, but TFC, they questioned themselves. They didn't let it just go and just like park the bus. They let almost broke. I mean, that defense, it's better than last year's, but it's still not that good. I was clenching for the last 10 minutes of that game. I don't know about you, but I definitely was clenching because that was not what you wanted to see from that defense. It was like, that. They almost screwed up 3 times, and luckily it did not happen. They either got back to where they needed to be and or it just ended up going out for a goal kick or a corner, which I guess isn't that bad, but come on, tighten up, guys, tighten up. Now, finally, New England fans, if I were you, your team, you better get some better players because you are not that good. As I said, Robert Kraft doesn't spend on either of his teams, but the way he runs his teams does not work in soccer. In NFL, you could just put out one great player with some other good players or just okay players and they're going to win for you. Soccer doesn't work that way. He doesn't understand the sport. Kraft's not a bad owner. He just doesn't understand the sport, and you're not getting any good players to win with. So, just, I don't know. Stop complaining. Or just watch the Patriots. I don't know. Do something. Now, finally, my question to Toronto FC fans. To take this from Steve Dangle, are you in? Because I can tell you this. I've always been in. Even when it was horrible last year, I was in. But when it looks like we're about to pull off the impossible in the eyes of Sam Steskel and all the MLS Doyle and all the MLS journalists, trust me, we're going to make a big run, and you're going to be like, oh my God, we were wrong about TFC. And I'm like, no, you're not. I was right. You just don't know. Stop sleeping. Because let me tell you this. Stop listening to the noise of all the people who don't know about our club or don't know what we are capable of. Stop listening to the noise. This is our club. This is our time. We may have stepped back last year, but we're back in the forefront. And you know what? We'll probably win another treble, and the next year we're going to make the wrong right of winning CONCACAF. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So, my question is are you in, TFC fans? Because I'm sure as hell in. Stop listening to the outside noise. That's all that matters. Glory, glory, TFC. Come on, you Reds. 3-2 win. Easy as you'd like. Well, not really as easy as you'd like, but good enough. Keep on. And Pozzello is coming home. I don't see how this team does bad at all in the next couple of weeks. I'll be back with a New York City, Toronto FC preview on Thursday night. But first, before that, I gotta say this. Check out these 3 podcasts that I'm about to talk about right now. Check out the Starting 11 podcast, the Starting XI podcast. It's typed out like that. You know what that is. Check that podcast out. They're very good. It's a Toronto FC podcast by Toronto FC fans. It's on Spotify, SoundCloud, anywhere you can find podcasts, you can find it there. Also, check out the Toe Knows Everything podcast on Tuesday on YouTube, where Terrence Boyd will be on the podcast. The straight talker Terrence Boyd will be on the Toe Knows Everything podcast on Tuesday. And check out Camille's podcast, Footy, I think it's Footy Talks. Check out his podcast. You'll find it on his IGTV at Camille is the best. Check out his podcast because his podcast is good, and I'll be on it soon. So, got to check that out. So, thank you for watching. If you liked it, subscribe, share. If you had anything you want to say, put it in the comments. Put it in Reddit comments. Put it anywhere. Thank you for watching. I'm Ryan, and I'm out. Peace.